Ghana's judiciary to cleanse itself?
Well, thank you once again. And let me just correct you. I don't speak for the AU. I speak for the AU Advisory Board on Corruption, of which I am the chairperson. Sure. So that is different from the AU. Well, I guess it is also important to put into context the basis on which even the Advisory Board on Corruption may have commented on the situation in Ghana. We do hold our regular meetings, what we call ordinary sessions, and during those sessions, members of the Advisory Board try to make a scan across the continent to look at some of the issues that may be of general concern. So sometimes we delve into issues that are happening currently in the country, and that is the context in which the judicial issue in Ghana came up. Of course, the reason why we also look at these issues is to be able to take best lessons, best practice as a way of sharing with other countries. In that regard, the members of the board thought that the issue of the judiciary and the ongoing investigations in Ghana was a matter of interest, because obviously judicial corruption, as it were, is an issue that borders all countries in Africa, not only in Africa but across the world. We made recommendations on the basis of experiences of other countries, specifically Kenya, where due to similar circumstances, the Kenyan government decided to set up a judges and magistrates vetting board. And it is interesting to note that this board in Kenya was established by law, not just as a policy or used or setting up another commission. In fact, in Kenya, they had to let their parliament pass a law, what is known as the Judges and Magistrates Act 2011.
Right.
And that law and the board created to serve it developed a kind of institutional framework and guidelines for the vetting of judges and magistrates. And we believe that that was a very important measure, because the setting up of this board led to the vetting of not only new judges and magistrates, but those who were already sitting, in different levels of the judicial system. Now, the point we want to make is that whilst Ghana might be looking at its current situation as one that is more of a revelation of maybe a more systemic problem, we can learn from lessons from other countries such as Kenya, so that we put in place preventive measures, and I think that is the emphasis. Preventive measures to avoid a repeat of the same kind of thing in the future. So that is the context in which the Advisory Board on Corruption commented on Ghana's current judicial corruption issue.
Now, the vetting board that you mentioned, is it one that you would advise, if we are to agree to set it up as a country, is it one you would advise to regularly vet judges who are already in place, or just vet those who are yet to be appointed?
Well, I would go for the case as it happened in Kenya, where even it had to include sitting judges from different levels. In fact, the Kenyan example is very interesting, because in the process of vetting, some old judges who used to serve in lower courts and had been promoted to other levels were even called and questioned on decisions they made previously. And indeed, some of them were sanctioned. Determinations were made against some of them, and I found some of the determinations interesting. Some were removed from the bench for failing to show impartiality, for some others for accepting gifts from litigants, and even others for lack of what they call lack of professionalism and candor. And I find these very interesting, because I don't know whether how many judges in any of our countries will pass the test on issues like that. So, it will not just be meant to take care of those who are coming in,
Right.
but indeed to cleanse the existing system in terms of a situation where there may already exist, as it appears to be the case with the current situation. There may
Okay.
appear to be some who are already in the system.
Okay.
Such should also be flushed out at the same time that we try to prevent new ones from it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Daniel Batidam. He's the chairperson of the AU's Advisory Board on Corruption, and they were just giving. They have also made their recommendations on how Ghana as a country can deal with the issue of corruption in its judiciary, and they are advising or proposing or suggesting that we can set up a vetting board that can look at the judges who are yet to take position. They are vetted before they take, and then also there are regular vettings of those who are already in courts or various courts presiding over cases. Interesting suggestion there. We'll see if government or the judiciary, for that matter, will take this suggestion from the African Union's Advisory Board on Corruption.